Okay, we're going to be testing this today. Dave Kernut recommended this for our ultrasonic cleaner to heat up the water faster. Let's see how it works. I had to break out the carb tools. Yeah. If any of you guys, your wife doesn't use their makeup boxes, look at that, huh? Perfect. All the little tiny tools that you need to clean carbs. All the small 1/4-inch ratchets and stuff. Your screwdrivers. But anyways, here's all the drill bits and everything. See these here? Dentists use those for root canals. Look at them drill bits, huh? And you got all different sizes. Yeah. Yep, that's what you need when you're cleaning carburetors. So I had to take apart the carburetor from this GX35 Mantis tiller, because as you saw, she was kicking, burping, and farting. Time to clean her up. I'll show you what I found. That's the carb right there. Gonna have to clean it and then put it all back together again. But I'll show you what I found in there. Let me grab this brush. First of all, look at this filter. Nasty. Gonna have to put a new filter on. Probably new lines too, but they're pliable. But this is what I found inside the gas tank. That hardened up. Real nasty stuff. Looks like the same thing like on this filter. I think it's the aluminum breaking up into fine particles, and that's what's ending up in the carburetor. But lucky, in my collection, I have a new weighted filter. Got a new pump, and I do have a lot of new parts. This is the old one. Right here's the old one. There's no one. Can't lose that little spring. See the little spring? If you look at this pump here, that's where the spring goes. On there like that. Actually, it goes on. It goes on here. It goes on right over here. See? Right there. And this pump went on there like that, covering it. So, let me wash all these up, put this carburetor back on, and put it back on the Mantis, and hopefully it'll run. But remember, what it takes to clean them is all these tools. Okay, Dave, this is a tryout on that heater and a parts washer. The temperature of the water is 77, 78. And we'll see how long it takes to heat up before we put our carburetor in it. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. We got 105 degrees. And we got 105 degrees in the water. 15 minutes to get 105 degrees. Excellent. Well, okay then. Watching James here working on the generator. I'm going to shut him off for now. And ultrasonic cleaner is done. Took out the carburetor. Now we're going to clean it up inside. I have my guitar strings. I use guitar strings because they got the real fine wires in there that you're not going to get in the typical reaming set, like for what do you call it, torch set. And I also have all sorts of brushes and stuff like that that I'm going to use to clean. Okay, so let's get them all cleaned up. Well, okay then, let's get this thing cleaned up. First of all, I want to let you know that I do use this football valve that you fill up a football, baseball, not a baseball, but any ball that takes air. I use this tip because it has a hole on the side and pressure's pushing out, but if too much pressure would be pushed out, then this little hole relieves that pressure. So when I do a carburetor, I clean out all the holes, but I don't want to blow anything out. Now I've been letting this thing soak in some oil. This is a diaphragm pump. We'll hold off on that for a bit. I use these guitar strings that I've cut to a length that I use. I also use carburetor cleaner on all parts except for rubber parts. I have an assortment of tools here that I use. They're like dental picks and stuff like that to clean things. Got little sharp edges and stuff. And brushes also. Got brass. I got stainless steel. And I got also plastic. So, let's give this a good cleaning. First of all, I'll take and spray inside the screen and then outside the screen too. And if it's flowing, it's good. Then I definitely blow it out quickly and make sure that the screen stays in there. So let's take out our little needle valve. There's a little bit of rust inside the screw here. I'm going to have to use a smaller Phillips. That's not working. Even smaller yet. Let me get a smaller Phillips. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta find a really tiny Phillips to get that, because it's all rusty inside here. If you look right in there. Oop, let me turn some light on. You see, there's rust on that Phillips screw holding down the little hinge. So let me find a smaller Phillips that'll fit that. All right, got a couple small screwdrivers, but because this thing's so rusty, I put on a glove, because I use this 14 karat gold testing solution. It's like a mild acid, but wearing the glove protects you just that much more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on that screw, because it is acid and it'll eat up that rust. Just a couple drops, no big deal. Don't get it in your eyes. I mean, it probably no stronger than the acid that comes off an orange peel, but you know, best to be safe than sorry. All right, so let's try this. All right, we got it. So now that it's loose, what I'm going to do is just take some water out of my pump jack here, and I'm going to spray that acid just so it's not there, it's diluted even more. All right, so let's take that screw out. And see what it looks like on the needle valve. All right, what do we got here? Got the screw, got the hinge pin, carrier, the spring, and the needle. So let's see what the needle looks like. It's kind of hard to tell because it's so small. And don't drop it because you'll lose it. But I'm looking at it and to see if there's any ridges on the needle itself. And it looks like it's pretty good. So I'll put that in a tray. Now we'll take and put the spring in the tray, put the hinge in the tray, hinge pin, and the screw. So it's all into that tray. Now what we want to do is look inside the seat, and it looks pretty good, but let's give it a shot. See if it comes out the other end. All right, came out of there, which is good. Nice and clean in there. Yep. All right. So we're doing good. Let's put this aside. We'll take our air and blow everything. All right. Let's clean everything out. Don't blow the screen away because the screen keeps the little particulates from getting into the carburetor. But clean it and put it aside. Take the body of the carburetor, every hole that you see, clean them up. Let's throw a little bit of juice on there too. Clean the carb. Every hole. All right. This here, I'm not going to squirt any carb cleaner on it because plastic and rubber, we don't want to disturb any of that. This is plastic. It's been into ultrasound, so it's pretty clean. Just blow that off, clear. All right. So, everything's clear. Now, we're going to go ahead, take this glove off for one, and we're going to clean out every hole with our needles, or I mean our wires. Every hole that you see, pass it through. Make sure all the holes are unblocked. Yep. There's a little hole on the side over here. Okay, a couple holes here. Here. There's one over here. Little tiny hole here. Look at that, comes all the way through there. All right. So all these are actually clear. We'll put that aside. That one's clear, this one's clear. All right, so let's put it back together again. Take our guitar strings and put them back. Now we're gonna go ahead and put back our needle. This is the tricky part because putting together that needle, you need little tiny fingers. All right, what do we got? You'll see me using these a lot because I love working with these tweezers. I'm going to take the needle out, put it in the hole, and take the spring, put that where the spring goes. Don't be magnetic because it won't go on. All right, there we go. Now we'll take the hinge and the hinge pin. Put that on there. Now, there's only one way this thing goes on is there's a bump on one backside, and the bump is what goes on the spring. So we'll hook the needle and bring it down. This is the tough part because that's spring. All right, we didn't get it. So let's put the spring in place. This is, like I said, the tough part. Need little fingers. Let's try again. Yep. I'll get right back to you. I gotta be able to see what I'm doing and get it all hooked up at the same time. When you got old fingers, oops, again. There we go again. Stubby fat fingers, and you're my age, and you got a little bit of shaking going on. That's the problem. Yeah, you guys will get my age pretty soon. You're gonna say, oh yeah, I remember that day. Yeah. Did we get it? Yeah, we got it. Now we gotta get the screw in there too. Wee doggy. See, I don't want to hurt the backing gasket, so I left it on. All right, we got it. All right, you don't have to go all He-Man on it, just tighten it up. Now, because this is a Walbro carburetor, we need the Walbro gauge. All right, and this carburetor was 22A052. Walbro, it says Walbro WYB. So we want to find a WYB on the gauge here. WY P. That's a B and that's a P. WY. All right, I'm going to say these WYs are the ones that we need. So what we want to do is pull this gasket back just enough so we can use that gauge without breaking this gasket. And see I don't see any light between there. I think we're good. All right, so that's good. I'll put our gasket back in place. Let's go ahead and take our pump, blow that off. I made it nice and supple by putting it in oil for a couple days. HIPAA is nice enough to send me a carburetor, but I don't know when it's going to get here. That's why I'm rebuilding this. We'll see how my rebuild works out. I mean, this had a little bit of problems with all that aluminum particles that was in the gas tank from the filter. So we'll see what happens now. Okay, let's put this on. All right. Let's see. And we got for the primer bulb, that's going to go on. Like so. Now the primer bulb, we got that new one that we took out of the primer assembly for like a chainsaw that fit in there, so that'll be good. All right, let's put that aside. We're going to put that aside for a second there, right? Let's put this back on. Put it on the right way, of course. Only goes on one way. Okay. Put this section back on. Put this aside for now. Okay. Now, we're going to reuse this old gasket. There's no tears, so let's reuse it. Now, we have the spring that goes on there, and we have another new pump, or I should say the valves, because that's what it really is. The old one, you see the marks are, and it's crunchy. Let's put this back, this new one on. Make sure that spring is good there. And we're going to go ahead and put everything together. It's a lot to go on at one time. Okay, now we got the screws. Let's put two of them on for now. Do diagonals. Yep. Yeah, HIPAA has a surprise for you guys coming. They're going to have a summer fest. There's going to be a lot of freebies. So I'll let you know once I know when that summer fest is going to start. Yeah, but HIPAA's come a long way. They're doing a lot for advertising and trying to keep everybody happy with what they need. With the parts that they have that work really good, like OEM. Okay, so this carburetor is back together. Now we'll put the barrel back in. There's a little slot here that has to meet up with that little valve that's in here inside. So you have to put it on the right way. Okay. Make sure it works. Okay. Put the screws in. Hello. Once you put the screws in, you tighten them up. There's only two, so don't over tighten them because it's going into aluminum again, and the top part is plastic. And you don't want to strip it out, and you don't want to break the plastic because you'll be out of luck. So, what do they say? Don't go all He-Man on it. Just tighten it up. Okay. Very good. I'll be right back. Okay, let's reinstall everything. First of all, I need to change out this filter for the gas tank, because if you look at it, it's disintegrating, and all that disintegration got into the tank, and that was no good. I gotta take this filter off here. All right. Look at that thing. That is nasty. I never saw one like that before. Okay. Let's put the new filter on. We might have to change out the line on the inside, but for testing right now, we will do just fine the way it is. Put the cap back on. Okay, let's put this tank back on over here where it belongs. Okay. Now, let's see, we could put the recoil back on. All right. Yeah, when the new HIPAA filter carburetor comes in, I'll be taking this apart and putting a new one on, just to show you how good the HIPAA carburetor is, or isn't, whichever the case may be. Okay, so now I believe the way it goes, just like this. And the black one is the supply side. and the clear one is the return side. We have to get this in here, and then this goes like that. Okay, 10 millimeters. All right, put some gas in this tank. All right, this is straight gas, no oil in it, because it's 4-cycle. We know we have plenty of oil in it because we checked it out. All right. Okay. All right, so air filter, and cover. There we have it. Okay. So what's going on? Why aren't you turning? I'll spray a little bit of penetrating oil and rust prevention in here. Okay. Yeah. Let's try a starter like this. is no adjustment on this. I know sometimes they got those hidden adjustment screws. This doesn't have it. Hey, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Well then, I think this carburetor has had it, but yeah, we got her running anyways, but transmission's good. We'll wait until the new carburetor comes in and we'll show you how good it is after that. All right, this is Hank saying over and out.